Well, welcome everybody. Welcome those who are watching and who will watch later. Thank you for joining us. This is the Gridiron Survivor project team. Um, I am Shashi. I have Alex, Ryan, Mai, and Jennifer today. We do have more members, but this is a not required meeting, and we kind of just wanted to go through what we did for Bug Bash, do some retrospectives of our previous sprint, and then kind of just have any other conversations that we want to have after that. But I want to tell you guys a little bit about Brick Grand Survivor. It's a project that I created to fulfill the gap between self-taught and getting your first job. Um, it's really difficult as a self-taught or bootcamp grad to get any experience, right? In this market, it's very difficult to stand out and do other things when everybody has the same skills or nobody stands out. So in this project, we're building it for our client, which is Rudy, and we're going through a corporate process. We're doing sprint planning, estimations, PR reviews. We're separating into different teams. That way we could cross-functionally go and discuss and talk amongst our own individual small teams or with the larger group. Um, but I think the biggest takeaway is the team collaboration part and the feedback. I give honest feedback, and that's how it is going to be on the job too. So it's sometimes it's like nice and easy going, but sometimes it's like, hey, this is wrong. This you had to figure out how to do this, or I'll walk them through on how to understand how to do it. And I also give one-on-one feedback too on things that are going well, things can improve, or things that we can pivot. So the next thing that I wanted to do was, hey Chris, thank you for coming. I wanted to talk about our sponsors for this project. So let me switch that. All right. So our first sponsor is Pastel.
Yeah, so Pastel is a communication tool for teams building websites and web apps. It helped our team eliminate the need for to have screenshots, emails back and forth, where we can just have the conversation indirectly, just talk right here in the design. So thank you, Pastel, for sponsoring this project. We appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you for that, Mai. Pastel has been awesome. I've been using it for a while to do portfolio reviews, and it makes it a lot easier for me to, like right here, right? Click on the screen, give feedback, keep moving forward. And as individual comes in, they can see all the comments and exactly where it's at. Okay, so our next sponsor is AppWrite. I think that's you, right, Ryan?
That's me. Yeah. Thank you, AppWrite, for
Please.
sponsoring Gridiron Survivor. AppWrite is a backend as a service provider. So we're using it in Gridiron for our user authentication, our database. And I think we might even find a use for their newer messaging feature, which is pretty cool, allowing the owners to directly reach out to those people logged in and signed into their service. So we're making a lot of uses of it. I know I wish I had access to it, but I've used it a little bit on my own. It's pretty easy to get going, and the team is very responsive to work with you through whatever issues you may have along the way, or just teach you along the way. So big thank you to AppWrite. Definitely recommend you check them out.
Thanks for that, Ryan. The next one we have is Friend and Mentor. Jen, why don't you tell us a little bit about Friend and Mentor?
Will do. Thank you, Friend and Mentor, for sponsoring our project. Friend and Mentor is a platform where you can do real life challenges that help build your skills. It's a really great platform I've used before too. You can get feedback. There's different levels. There's paid and free, and you also get design, so you can get practice implementing real life designs too.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. And the last one we have is Get Kraken. Alex, why don't you tell us about Get Kraken?
Yeah, so GitKraken's a tool to help you manage GitHub repositories and code, and it is super helpful in automating the process. It's as simple as just downloading and cloning or creating a repository to get started. And it helps you do all the Git commands with just a few simple clicks, and it helps the process so much.
Cool. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so now we're going to jump into our schedule. We wanted to go to the Bug Bash dashboard, kind of review all the items that we went through, individuals created bugs. I want to talk to them a little bit to see if we want to take action on them or put them in our backlog. And then after that, we'll do a retrospective of the sprint. I should probably create another one. There we go. That's easy. All right. So the first one here we have. Okay. So first, we are trying to get our alpha completed by the 1st of September. That's when the NFL season starts, but we kind of want to get it done even earlier than that so we can have time to debug and kind of go through issues and also test the application itself to ensure that it works. Right now we are completing a sprint, so I wanted to do a bug batch because there's a lot of features that went in, and so sent out a link. I also sent out this Trello board so that we can track the bugs that we find and also any features that we may want to add that's currently could enhance the UX. And so based on that, this is the outcome of what we came with. We only had a day to do this, but I think that's plenty of time because as you see, we have plenty of bugs already to kind of look through and talk through. Okay, so the first one we have is this one, bug gradient. Okay, bug prefix. Gradient doesn't stretch to left and bottom edge of the page, perhaps due to ability to scroll. So Walter is not here.
Yeah, I mean, he discussed again. Walter's new to this, so he kind of was like, "Is this, are you aware of this?" Yeah. So basically, as you can see in the screenshot there, on the left-hand side, the gradient doesn't go all the way to the edge of the
Yep.
screen, and the bottom as well. It's a little harder to see because the gradient does fade down.
Got it.
The bottom one, I believe, we took care of with Eddie's PR, where there was additional padding added on the body. And the left one, I think, is due to the inline padding as well. So it's something that we have to take a look at that I think we're going to be addressing already in existing tickets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this? This is a pretty simple one. This is a good start. Super easy.
It's something that's been bothering me too. So
yeah,
I'm glad
I've seen it.
On there.
I've played around with fixing it on my screen myself.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make it easy. Yeah, we're gonna fix that. We'll put it there for now, and then after we're done with this session, myself and Jason will go and create tickets and throw it into our sprint board, and then we will prioritize these items in our next sprint. Okay, this one is feature. Make sign up links stand out more. So right now, as you can see, this text is kind of great, grayish. Sign up is a link, but there's no indication that it's a link.
Correct. Yeah, I made this one. So we do have that sign up verbiage beneath the continue button, which stands out a bit more. But like you said, there's no indication that the sign up top is a link. So either I think we need to remove it because we have the one below the button, or make it white and or underline it to make it really stand out, because otherwise no one's going to know.
I believe this is a bug. Maya, I think you fixed this, right?
Shashi, that's part of the accessibility ticket for both the login and registration page. Okay. It's already part of the current PR. I mean, that PR is not done because the Figma is not updated. So there's a couple of pieces missing, but the link is actually all taken care of. Like,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
I would say this is because we're moving very fast. Don't worry about the design being updated. We will do our best to do that.
Yeah, so, and that's why I'm sorry. Go ahead, Karina.
No, so I because I shared the link to the PR. Do you think we should consider it final and kind of like merge it in? Okay.
Yeah, I'll review it. Yeah, once it's I mean I've seen a PR. I just wasn't sure if it's ready yet. So if it's ready, then I'll review it, and then if it looks good, then we'll just we'll have two approvers, and then we'll merge it in.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that too, because that's the way the design did come to me, and I developed the login page based off of that. In the time, I was like, "Oh no, this doesn't feel right." But as I've learned, Shashi, you can attest to this. Stick to what the ticket says, and then raise it later on.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and also when those things happen too, raise that up to Jaina and be like,
Mhm.
hey, was this intended? Like, I know it's not in my ticket, but I see the design. This is not highlighted as a link, and it should be. And then she can work with that because she's moving fast, and sometimes designers will miss certain details too, or it's intended. It's like, no, that's expected. Then you're like, oh, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Okay. Next one here, login page is vertically scrollable on screen wider than 1280.
Yep, this was fixed with Carlos's PR. It's not
Okay.
merged in yet, but it will be
Okay.
soon.
So if it's not, then we're gonna move this. Oh, here, my bad. It's not even back. Working on or completed. Okay. That way, because the only items that we're gonna work on right away are gonna stay in here. Okay. All right. Feature. Provide invalid user or password text when trying to log in. Alex reported this. So when you invalidly try to enter something, right, the response comes in like that.
Yep. Yeah. So whenever I would like try to input and I forgot my password and I went to hit continue and I kept spamming continue and I was like, huh, like, is it wrong? But when I looked into the console, that's when I could figure it out.
Yeah. But so this is a part of the alerts that you were doing. This will be pretty much an enhancement to that, where we need notifications of when an individual is typing in something and an action happens. We need to let them know what's going on. So in your PR, did you include this message in there, or are you looking for more finite description of the error?
It was more so like finite, like where text pops up of invalid credentials, because the notifications that I have is just if it errors out or if it was successful, but not much for like if the password or username was invalid.
Okay. Um, that is for security purposes to not explicitly mention one or the other. What AppWrite has standing back, we can post that out because it is an API response. And so we can show that error message instead of what we have. So we can keep that there. Where does it go? And then we could prioritize that.
Can I touch on that as well,
Mhm.
Shashi? There's currently, and I guess I don't know if this is a limitation with our implementation of AppWrite or if just AppWrite in general. But you can only have one session per user logged in at a time. So if I log in on port
Mhm.
3000, I can't log in on port 3001. And right now, unless you dig into the console, there's no error for that. And
That's
it's not like
correct.
it'll automatically log you out of that other location.
Yeah, so that's one where we need to throw a notification up saying like that you have in a session. I think by default it does one. I don't
Yes, yeah.
know if you can open it up to multiple. I know Vercel. I think I saw that Vercel has the ability to do that. I don't know if AppWrite does. We'll have to dig into that documentation and figure that out.
Yeah, which would be nice considering, desktop, tablet, and mobile if you access it
Hmm.
different ways on the same day.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. Okay, can't see text for using an email. I believe we
There is
have
a
a
ticket open.
for that already.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought too. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to already working on or completed. Okay, that's it for the login page. Registration page. Page does not follow the same responsive layout as login.
Yep. This is one that I did. Um, Basically, the login page has the stacked, vertically stacked look when it's smaller than a certain breakpoint. I think the large breakpoint, and then after that, it goes side by side. The registered page doesn't do that, and according to the design, it's supposed to. So we need to add those breakpoints in.
Okay.
So it's basically going to be the same thing as the login page.
Okay. I think this one should be simple, but remember, for only for the admin, we're targeting desktop. For the player, we're targeting mobile. So in this case, this is a key page to kind of get both. So let's target that. But also the same thing I talked to Jaina. We have to remember that we're only doing dark mode for now. So this page also needs to be switched over so that it's dark mode. I don't
Yep.
know.
That was actually my next
there you go.
ticket here.
Yeah,
Was making the
so
styles match dark mode only. So,
yeah.
and I know there's a ticket already in GitHub for that.
Okay, so it's this one. So we need to move everything over to be dark mode because
Mhm.
we're gonna start with just one, make it simple, and then when we come back, we will then make it more dynamic so we can have two or more themes.
Yeah, and that's as simple as in Tailwind removing the dark, like not flag, but the dark, whatever we want to call it on the class, and just making that the default.
Yeah, we'll just make a default.
Mhm.
Okay, link stand out. Make login link stand out more. So this is very similar to the other
Correct.
one. Karina, was this fixed in your PR as well or no? I'm gonna say no for now. I'm gonna leave it here until we figure that out. Okay. Upon registration.
Shashi,
Uh huh.
sorry. It's I have a really spotty Wi-Fi in my mom's house.
Oh, okay. No problem.
The question was about the link again.
On the
Yes.
registration page.
Yes, it's actually so. This is the PR that I was working on registration because I thought if this is done and approved, then the login is exactly the same. That has the same
Okay.
issue in terms of the links or the accessibility issues. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll move it over here to worked on or completed. Then we can review that. Okay. Next item is upon registration, new users are met with a 404 error until they are assigned a league. This one here, we have a ticket to auto assign all users to our league, so that they don't find this issue, because right now we don't have a way for the user to like find a name of a league and join it, right? Like we are making it simple right now. At max right now, at minimum right now, it's going to be 2 leagues, one regular and one reverse league. And so that's all there's going to be really. But then you don't know which league you're going to go into, so we could easily just put them in there because we don't have it in our plans right now to have that ability to kind of have the user choose what league they want to go to. So this one here, there is already a ticket for that to fix that bug. Okay. All leagues page. Nav bar spacing on left and right side that sticks out and disappears when you click the nav menu button.
Yeah, this is a little tough. This was Carlos's, I believe. This is a little tough to see from the images. But basically, if you visit the site and tap the hamburger menu, the nav bar has that padding, inline padding, and then when you click it, it goes away.
All right, let me go to the site. I should have had it pulled up.
And it's only a little difficult to see because of the backdrop when you open up the nav drawer.
Good thing you can't see my password. Okay, so on mobile?
On desktop, you can see it right there.
So what was the issue?
Click the hamburger menu.
Uh-huh.
And you'll notice that it is now full width, whereas when you close it again, there's the space on the left-hand side. See that?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I bet you anything if we fix this, it's gone.
Me too.
It is. Look at that.
Yeah, this is coming from when I added the padding to the body. It really needs to be on an inner div. So that way the elements aren't butting against the side of the page.
Yeah, you need a container inside.
Exactly. So it's a relatively easy fix. You just have to make sure that it's consistent
Oh
across
yeah,
pages.
because your header is trying to do a. Wait, why is it doing that? The nav padding. Oh, my bad. That's why, because I removed the class completely. There we go. Okay, so looks like that will be fixed with the other ticket. So I'm gonna remove this out.
Yeah, it's an easy fix.
This is gonna be fixed with this other item here. It's a duplicate, pretty much, just a different way to get there. Okay, add focus to the league page. Right now, there is no focus.
There's the outline,
Uh-huh.
but and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when you're focusing it, it should also have the background color change, just like when you're hovering it.
Yep.
Because they're the same action for two different navigations, right?
Same action.
So like if you're
Same
tabbing
style.
to it, yeah, like they're similar, I guess. They're not obviously the same action, but
yeah. And
again, that's
if I do
automated
it
for
now,
what I
it's
created
not
the component.
Yeah, I'm forcing it right now. It's not. There's the hover state. Did you guys know that you could do this?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Okay. Focus with it. Okay, there's none. Okay. Leave that out right now. That's gonna be. We'll have Karina do another accessibility audit. So I'm gonna leave this here for now, and then that way she can find the other accessibility items that we'll need to take care of as well. Okay. Remove "you do not belong in any leagues" verbiage if the user's leagues are greater than 1.
Yeah, Shasha, you and I experienced this, I think, when we pair coded my ticket the other night, where when this page is loading, yeah, you'll get that even if you have more than one league or more than 0 leagues assigned to
I
you.
think what's happening is this. It's not that you have more than one, it's that it's still loading. Is this?
Oh, so it just needs to be replaced with the new loading spinner I'm making.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the error is that right now the code saying if you have none, then load it, but then there's no in between state saying, hey, I'm still trying to retrieve this data. Wait until I'm done, and then I'll show you either the leagues you're in or show the message that you don't belong to any.
Okay, so I guess
Whoa.
this makes me ask then.
Mhm.
So instead of showing, hey, you belong to no leagues to users without any leagues, we're going to be automatically adding them to one. You said before, in which case that verbiage is not needed whatsoever.
We'll keep it there anyways, just in case there's an error.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, just in case the code or this database sometimes doesn't retrieve, and then we still show the message. So we'll keep this bug here because it is a bug. Your spinner doesn't add this in there; it just adds a component.
Yes.
Somebody will have to go in and swap and create the logic for that.
Gotcha.
Wait, I lost you guys.
I think I kind of create. Well, yeah, you're right.
Okay. Next one. Add in user to nav bar side menu. Mai?
Yeah, this is what I meant by this is, as you can see, there's that circle SL. I think that'd be kind of cool to add it to ours. We don't have that users like initials yet, so
we don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a nice one too. It's a part of the design.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I went to my design.
It's like a almost a bug.
I think it came into the design after I created the nav bar.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna mark it as a bug.
So check yourself.
Yeah, we'll mark it as a bug. Janet is gonna do a full design audit anyway, so that's probably gonna come up. But we'll keep it here so that she knows that we know that. Okay, moving on. Individual league page. So this is this page. When you get into your enter into a league page, you see your entries. Okay, add navigation back to all leagues. Yes.
Yes, we discussed
Actually,
this.
yeah, it's more of a bug.
Yeah, because it was already, as I'm filling these out, I'm like, wait a minute, that's why I prompted that message last
Yeah,
night.
it's a bug. We definitely need that. This and then the gaps too. Yep. So what you can do, Ryan, is go back into GitHub, look at the file history, go find your old file, and you'll see that all your work is still there. It's just deleted. But if you look at your commits, your previous commits, you can find that file, and you can probably bring um, most of that work over. Not entirely over because there's some additional stuff in there, but like the container and some of that stuff will probably still be there. Oh,
Okay,
it's deleted. It's there. You just gotta
got to
copy
find in the
your
history.
logic and bring it over. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Next one, add link to the nav logo so it goes back home.
Yeah, this was one that I feel like I keep looking for the when
Yeah.
clicking it, it does something, and it doesn't do anything right now.
Yeah, me too. I click it every time.
There's
There's no home here too. So
exactly.
yeah.
Although, like, what is home in this case? Just all your leagues?
Yeah, yeah. It's so we also need a redirect. Like right now we don't have a redirect. Like if it goes here, yeah, you see how it goes login? It's incorrect. It should go to league all.
League/all. Yeah.
Like we should have a redirect so that no matter we are logged in, you should not be able to get the login page. So that's a bug too. Why do I add that? Well, I'll just say league. Okay. Okay. Next one. After adding entries, refresh. Only the add entry shows for a few seconds. When you click add new during the time, it displays the next entry as entry 1. What?
Yeah, so to kind of explain on that, go to your add new entries and then refresh
Mm-hmm.
the page. I don't know if it's just my computer because it's slow,
Okay.
but if you refresh the page, only add new entry pops up for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Now go ahead and refresh and click add new entry again before they load in. And then it pops up as entry 1, and it's not doing it on yours, but for mine
Oh,
after entry 6, it popped up as entry 1.
Oh, 1-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be part of the bugs that Ryan is doing too. It is a bug. We need to keep it because we need a loading spinner because it's loading the entries. It went to the API to grab the entries. That add button should not be there until everything's loaded. And then if there are entries or not, when the response ends, then the button should show up. So we will keep that bug. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, so now we're going into the weekly picks page. Let me go to entry 2 because I don't want to mess this up. Okay, entry week 1 pick. Okay. Okay, add alert when pick is updated. Yes, we need to add that. It's not a bug. It's just not been implemented yet. We can keep this here because we don't have a ticket for that. I know Alex is working on other alerts, and this one is not a part of it. So we'll have to create that. Is that correct, Alex?
Yes.
Okay. Add focus styles to weekly picks button.
This is like
Again,
the other one. Yeah.
this is going to be an accessibility one. We'll let Corina look at that and do an audit, an accessibility audit. This
Shashi, there's already a ticket for the weekly picks. I mean, that's an older one, and there are some focus issues. But I'm happy to do another audit for that as well.
Yeah, because now the flow of the site is more structured. So you should be easier for you to go through each page and look at everything. You might have done most of them because some of the components you already went over. So if it's a duplicate, then we can just move it out.
Okay, yeah, or yeah, update that ticket. Okay.
Okay, so if you don't already have, I'll move this here to working on it already. Okay. Link back to the league should have focus style same as the hover. All right, same thing.
Yeah,
We
this
will
was
let.
something that I thought I had already implemented, but there's
Oh,
no.
oh, oopsies.
Yeah, just the case that it's got the entire outline, but no color change or no underline. So
It's probably because let's see here.
I didn't add the focus
No.
styles. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah,
Um. You know what? We don't have a link component, do we?
yeah, we do. We have a custom link component.
Okay, so it should have. It doesn't have it by default.
No, it doesn't have it by default. I
Okay.
completely forgot about about like making focus things along with the hover
Okay, that's fine.
changes. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean the hover is there. It's very subtle if you can see it.
yeah. Again, the design didn't have one, so I just kind of picked it. And I
Yep.
definitely did have underline in there. It maybe I guess it got lost. Uh, but
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
that's kind of like my own choice though, because of this. Again, we don't have hover. Um, we don't have hover inbuilt into
Styles.
the design. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hover styles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. And those items, work with Jaina on that.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. Talk to
So
Jaina.
she's already added that. So the way she has links now, it's they're orange and bold and underline on hover. So
Oh,
Okay.
that's the one I've been implementing for the registration page.
okay. Nice.
Cool. Good to know.
Okay, we'll keep that bug there. Add in view past week's link. This one is it on this page, Mai? You're talking about?
Oh no, sorry. It's on the page previously before this one. Based on the Figma design, you can see your past pics, I
Oh
believe.
yes. So I mapped this a little bit differently. I'll look at that again.
Okay.
Yeah, because I drew it out when I was on the plane, and I think we may or may not want that. We will need it, but there's a way to get around it. We'll have to figure that out. So I'll leave it there for now.
Okay.
Okay. Feature a submit button to let the users know. Okay. So the new functionality is this, right?
Oh.
If I click on, okay, look, if you look at my network tab, I'll clear out the items here. If I click on Falcons, anything I interact with when it changes, it'll make an API call. And
Mm.
then we need to add a notification saying, hey, your
Yes.
pick has been updated. Like we don't have that yet. And
Okay.
then as I click on another team, right, it changes it again. Now this is the new latest one that I've chosen.
Oh,
This,
okay. Good to know.
yeah, so that way you don't have to click and submit. It's a hassle. Like a lot of users are used to it. It's just like, oh, I want the Cowboys, and then you just click, and then it, as you can see, it made an API call here, and then the
Mm-hmm.
results are now the Cowboys. So this ticket is going to be removed, completed or worked on. Okay, so thank you for everyone for doing this bug bash. I hope you enjoyed it. How was your experience doing this? I know before I kind of did it for us in live, but this time I was like, hey, let's crowdsource and help each other find some bugs.
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff. This is gonna be real dirty, but I've definitely like spent too many nights just examining sites and seeing maybe what isn't consistent and things like that. It's definitely just something that, especially with front end styling and UX stuff, it's definitely something I feel like I have a pretty good eye for. So, and knowing this project so well, it was pretty easy.
Cool. Anybody else?
I just love that we have a Trello board now. This is like all new. I've been
Trello board
MIA.
for certain things, yes.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm whispering. So
I don't know either. Hey, I think your mic. I think you're on the wrong mic. Do it again.
Yeah, you definitely are.
Because I heard an echo. It has to be clearer than that. That's too
Usually Chris, I
expensive.
could like
That's too
hear.
expensive
So cool.
of a Rode mic that it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. He's like, okay.
He's debugging right now.
Yeah, he is debugging. All right, so now we're gonna move on to retrospective. All right, this is the first time we're doing this, so I'll explain to you guys what a retrospective is. So usually you do sprints, right? Like we're doing 2 week sprints, and at the end of 2 weeks, you usually do like a retrospective of the previous sprint that you worked on, which is the current one, right? And you talk about things that went well, things that can improve, and action items or like potential discussions to have. This is to help the team improve much faster. If you don't do these things, you just keep grinding it out, right? And then there's no feedback cycle of, hey, what's going well? We should keep doing that. What's not going well? We should stop doing that and pivot and do something else. If you don't do retrospectives, if unless if there's a lot of feedback going back and forth, most of the time there's not. It's just like go, 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 go. It's really difficult to take a step back, look at what you've done, and improve upon it, or continue to do things that are working, right? So this, I would say, we could do it like the past month, because we don't have like true 2 week sprints. We try to, but it's sometimes they're slower than others. So I would say in the past month, let's start with things that went well. Okay, this is the easiest one. Things that went well. Why don't I do this? I'm gonna also actually no. We'll just do one note take, so that way this is interactive. Okay, you tell me what went well.
Time boxing. Yeah, I love that you're doing this board too, because not only can I learn from myself, but I can learn from others as well, like what helped them become better as well. So, yeah, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. And can you explain to us a little bit of what time boxing is?
Yeah, that time boxing is giving yourself a specific amount of time to work on a task. So you assign cards to us per sprint. And I'm like, okay, I give myself like an hour to do research and then an hour to implement and try these different methods. And then if I still can't figure it out within 2 hours, I know I have to reach out to you right away, especially for the especially for how would you say it? Like the Fibonacci numbers, that task level. So for that specific task level, if it's like a task 0.0, I know I should have been done with it within 2 hours. And what am I not understanding to get it done? So definitely time boxing and speed, that helps speed up and get the task done.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike, for explaining that.
Mm-hmm.
What other things went well? Anybody can bring this up? And okay, I'll preface this too, is when we do retrospectives, it's nice not to point fingers, right? Try to generalize it, like, oh, we did this well, we did that well. Or like sometimes I'll even say like, oh, it was my bad that I messed that up. Things that improve. I need to do better at that. And then I will write down, not targeting you, but saying, okay, the team needs to do this thing better. And then when you talk about things that are negative, like don't point fingers, just like, oh, like maybe we can communicate better and find ways to communicate better. That way it's not targeted. It's more like, okay, we're here as a team, right? We're here to grow as a team and work as a team. All right, things that went well.
I'll jump in for a second because up to I think last week I was kind of like contributing bits and pieces. Like I was busy with work, so I have some time off, and I was afraid it's going to be a bumpy transition into kind of focusing almost full time on this, even though I'm in Romania, so I'm a bit jet lagged, right now, but I'm getting to like a normal schedule. And I really appreciate how easy transition has been made for me by everybody else in the team, just kind of being very responsive whenever I had questions. I already met with Mai, and she updated me on her work, and I intend to reach to everybody else to kind of like catch up and help me kind of understand everything that I missed by not being fully involved. So that was really grateful to everyone for that.
Awesome. That's great feedback.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, just the collaboration I've seen between members, helping each other out, but has been good. And I like that you're also kind of pushing it a little bit, Shashi. Like you tagged someone who's like, hey, wanted to see if Ryan's available to help you out, or like Jennifer asked me for help earlier. And it's just good because I've also leaned on people like Chris. I've definitely leaned on before for help on things, and he just helped me out before he was away. So it's been really, really good to see.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one. And that's my intentions. Like, I think you guys all know when you guys ask me questions, sometimes I'm like, hey, go ask them first before I help you. Because we should be able to get to the point where we're not like we all kind of understand what we're doing very well. And then a person can come to you to get guidance and answers. And if you really don't know, then yeah, I can help out where I can. Because if we funnel everything towards me, right, then guess what? I'm gonna be blocked because I have 5 people asking me different questions and I have to help everybody out. But if we spread the load, then it's gonna be a lot easier. Plus, then you're learning to collaborate and work together. All right. Anything else?
I have one thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have one thing. I guess it'd just be like feels like a little better organized. I think I don't know if it was Ryan's idea, how we have like a code review, like I guess I don't know what you call it in Discord, but like a thread or like channel.
The forum
they
channel,
give, like,
yeah.
Yeah, the forum channel for PRs. It's like I found it pretty helpful. You can kind of like jump in, you can see past conversations. But that also helps it keep it organized. So you can kind of contain like what was discussed, and it's not even just discussion about like just PR, but just people asking questions and kind of like learning. Just a quick view of like what got merged, like what still needs help. So I found that was pretty helpful too. For that's that we got added, and that's been pretty helpful.
Too big. Awesome. I agree. Good call, Ryan.
Thanks for giving me mod powers. That's all I could say. Thanks for trusting me.
Yeah, I think one thing that was cool, because I've been away on a business trip and coming back and kind of getting yesterday, I saw people needed access to the database and get added to a league. And I was like, I'll do it in a little bit. And then Alex just hops on in and goes, hey, I got you. And that's cool for me to see. I leave for a little bit, and because I don't like necessarily being the only one to help out in that area. So it's super cool to have Alex one diving in to learn it, figure it out, and the fact there's another person the team can lean on, because we can't have one single point of failure, right? So that's pretty cool.
Yep. That's something my team preaches to. My manager says, figure it out. Like, and then when he's gone, he's like, anybody on my team should be able to answer the questions that I have answered for you or for others, because if I'm the blocker, then if I'm gone for a week or two, then everybody's blocked, right? Or whoever is blocked. But if we can help each other and understand certain things really well, then we can help, be a backup or help shoulder the load as well. Anything else that went well these past 2 sprints? Even if it's small, it's okay.
I think just having Jason in his new position, whatever you want to call it, working with you has been really helpful.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the fun one then. Things that need to improve. This area is tough, but let me tell you what, it is going to make our team better. Okay. Things that didn't go well, call them out. If it's a team effort, if it's me, call it out, because this is where we find out, like, oh, I'm sorry, like, okay, I see, like, I need to do this better. Or if I was slow to respond or whatever, then it's like, okay, my bad, like, now I know, like, then I can improve on that, right? So it's certain, these things are only going to help us get better. It's not to put anybody down. Again, you generalize it, right? That way there's no targeting.
Something I've definitely noticed is the slow time to review PRs, not
Okay.
just coming from like right now, Shashi, it's you and Mike that are the code owners, right? So we need
Hmm.
approval from one of you. But as a
Hmm.
team member, and I'm gonna single myself out. I won't because I can't speak for anyone else, but just in general, definitely slow on that front. And I've definitely been like, oh, someone else will do it, and maybe others are falling into that, and then we end up where PRs are sitting there and waiting to be reviewed.
Yep. Right now we have a ton of PRs. Now I've been asking a few people that wanted to help to come and help. Chris, I know you mentioned that there was somebody that you met at Render that wanted to mentor. I know we have Homer too. I need to get Homer more involved too.
Yeah, I need to get you that list
But
of people. Yeah.
yeah, please do. As to the point where we do need more experienced folks to come and help just review PRs. I can review them and I will review them, but again, like when I have a busy work day, I cannot get to you guys. Like there's no way I can get to you guys during the day or even after hours. Okay. Anything else? I know you guys have a lot.
Yeah, I can say one, mostly
Okay.
for myself because I'm definitely at fault for this as well, but more so taking more time to learn things rather than just asking for help. And because there's a lot of people that have their own tasks that they need to focus on, and when you're like constantly asking them questions and stuff, it like takes
Mhm.
time away.
Okay. That is a good identification. I think everybody has this issue because it's easy to go and ask for help right away to get answers. But sometimes when you come and ask me too soon, I'll be like, go here, go find this out, right? Like, I think if you guys know that you ask me a question, like you think I'm going to give you the answer right away. I'm like, here's a resource. Read through this and see if you can figure it out. And then I go a little bit further, right? That because as a developer, you're going to have to learn that skill of being able to find solutions. And how can you do that if you can't have a rapport of skills and tasks and resources to go to? So, of course, I'm not going to let you struggle for days on end, but you need to uh, allow your brain to try to find those solutions. And like you said the other day, like you're like, oh, I couldn't get to it and I fell asleep. I woke up, or was it Alex that you took a nap or you went to sleep, came back, you woke up and then you
Oh
found the
yeah,
solution.
like I went to bed, had a dream of me fixing the problem, woke up and then fixed it, and I was like, how? But yeah.
That is normal. That is a part of your brain being able to decompress from all the information that you jammed into it, and your brain is working itself to find the solution. And sometimes you dream about it, you wake up, and within 5 seconds, you got an answer because it's able to decompress all the information that you have fed it.
I've got a guest one coming in from Walter who is not on but viewing. Um, and this may be a product more of the time he came on because I think half of us were away at conferences. But the onboarding process
Okay.
just maybe more structured and clear outline of expectations for new members.
Okay. That's a good one. That's always going to be a problem. Not always going to be a problem. It's something that we need to tackle. A lot of companies have this issue too. They do have an onboarding process, but it's not updated. They don't put priority to it, and it's something that we need to improve. We were really busy, but it's on me too. I still need to get back to Walter, Carlos, and Eddie I'm onboarding them onto certain things, so I need to find time to get together with these individuals as well. But yeah, we do need to have a better onboarding flow and documentation. I agree.
Yeah, I suggested to him, and maybe you could do the same to Eddie and Carlos, of like taking notes of things that you wish existed. Because I mean, since the ball got rolling earlier this year, since I've jumped on the project and others, like after that conference, they're the newest members really to join, besides
Yeah.
Alex. So part of it, I think, comes from we haven't done it before. But if they could just write down those pain points, that way we know what to improve. It would help out a lot.
Cool. Anything else? I mean, anything. This is again to help us all get better. Okay, I'll bring one up. On the reverse side, time boxing. Understanding when to stop and ask for help. This one is very difficult because, like I mentioned in our group chat, you want to figure this out your own, right? And you want to keep going down this rabbit hole to figure this out. But there's a time when it's too much, and there's a time when it's too little. Like Alex was saying, right? It's how much time do I spend? And it's really hard. It's really hard to kind of figure that out. But I would say if you spend 2-3 days looking on this and you can't figure it out, that's probably enough time. If you spend a week to 2 weeks trying to figure this out, that is way over time, right? And if like the sprint points, that's why I tell you guys to give me the point estimations, is because if you feel like it's going to take you half a day and it's been 5 days, you need to see that for yourself and say, oh, shoot, I said it's going to be half a day. It's 5 days. That's too much time. Okay, I need to go ask for help, right? That's where the identification is. I can tell you like if it's taking too long, but you need to be able to be self-aware that things are taking longer than it should, and either you need to take a step back, read the ticket itself, or ask for help, or get clarification so you can move forward. And this is a skill that you'll continue to learn to get better at, and that time window will get shorter and shorter, and that way you understand like when to go ask for help, or even up front. Like when I ask you guys, do you guys understand this ticket or this task? And you say yes, but then later on you say, oh, I didn't really understand it. I'm like, that's the problem. It's, you have to tell me you don't, because then I can help you clarify it. Once you understand it, then you know what you're going to go and build, or what you're going to go implement or fix. If you don't understand the bug or the feature, how do you even know what to go look at? You won't fully know. And then we'll spend all this time figuring this out, and then eventually it's gonna be 2 weeks or so, and then we just lost time. And that's why we had to be efficient with the time that we have. So this is definitely something that everybody needs to get better at. Even myself, I still do it at work sometimes, where I have multiple tasks and I think I can do it all, and then in the end, like I only got 2 out of 5 things done. So
I also wanted to add another one for needs improvement. This is a
okay.
hill I'm currently stuck on about writing clean code. I'm still trying to figure out how to write good clean code. Am I organizing it correctly? Am I naming the variable good? Am I within my function? Is it doing like a good and optimized and clean process? Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out as I go too. The ESLint rules does help out a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I think you asked this before too, and I would say it comes with experience. The best thing to do is code reviews. You know how thorough I am with the code reviews. Like you'll know if, like I think was it you, Ryan? You had a variable name, and I was like, spell it out. Like it was
Yes.
okay, but I was like, no, like you spell it out because
It is literally like abbreviated STR or ABBR
yeah,
STR or something like
yeah.
that. And
And I was like, spell it
it
out
out.
because if somebody comes and glances at it, they'll know exactly what it is. If you don't, I'm gonna have to like stop and be like, what is this? Like, what is this for? If you spell it out, then I don't have to question it. I can just keep moving forward, right? That's a part of writing clean codes too, is understandable code. That you can do that, and the other part is like writing efficient and optimal code that comes with time and experience, and I will let you know like if something's off or when I mean you guys know what the unit tests. I gotta tell you guys this is not correct. Like go back and redo it. Like that's not gonna fly. Like that's because I want you guys to understand the structure of how to write it properly. It's not even like pristine code. Like some of it's like I'm just letting it go because I'm not gonna hold it back for not meeting how I would write it, but it's like no, it's not even testing the right thing at all. So you have to go back and let's redo this, or writing it in a way where it's repetitive, where it's like, oh, like this test, it doesn't need to even check for that because that's not the part of this test. You already tested this in another one, and that's going to run already. So if that one fails, this one should fail too, right? So understanding that is just comes with time, and this project is going to allow you to have that time to learn and to continue to push yourself to write better code.
Hey, I just want to touch on something that we're having team members are
Mhm.
saying in our. I'm going to call you out right now
Yeah.
because we mentioned that PRs are slow, but we
Mhm.
have two team members saying that they're afraid to do code reviews.
Uh-huh.
Another saying, I don't want to lead you astray. I could say for sure, before we started this, Shashi said post your GitHub graphs, the one that show, your commits versus your code reviews versus whatever. Chris and I both have increased our code reviews immensely from where we were at. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, and
I
don't be
did
afraid
not
to
say
jump in.
post it. I just said if you want. Didn't I say that? I didn't say requirement.
You
I
asked us
said.
maybe what it was. Yeah, it was a while ago,
Oh, okay.
but it was pretty eye opening. So like,
It
don't be
is.
afraid to jump in because Shashi will correct you if you're maybe thinking about something the wrong way. But it's the only way that you're going to learn how to do them. Not saying that I'm an expert whatsoever, but I've gotten more comfortable with it because I've done it, and that's the only reason why.
Mm-hmm. And like I told these other individuals too, is if you're not comfortable yet, go look at the PRs that we've done before and look at the comments that look at the ones that have like 30 comments or so. You'll see that there's a common pattern there, and it's okay to ask a question in a PR. It's also okay to give kudos that you learned something in a PR, and it's also okay to ask like, "Hey, are you sure that we want to do this?" Right? Because the person making the change should know why they're doing it. If they don't, then that's bad, right? Then it's like, why are we changing this? And it's like, I don't know, it just works. Then that's not good because you need to understand what's happening in your code and what's changing. Um, and that's good. Sometimes that person needs to be double checked, right? And who knows, like, if you don't do it, I might miss it, right? And don't feel like your voice is not valued. It is, because your perspective is going to be different from someone else. So that's why I would say if you can code review everything, you would learn so much more. Do you know why I understand like most of the application? It's because I review every single PR, right? I know a lot of the things that are going in. I know how things work. Also understand when we see bugs and tickets. I already know that we're already working on it or we're not working on it. It's not because, well, it is because I'm like, I have my hands in everything, but it's also because I'm reviewing everything. And if you do that, then, or most of them, right, then you'll start to understand like, oh, this is going to be changed. This is going in, yada, yada. I have a question about this, about that. Be very curious, because eventually you're going to master this code base and be like, oh, I know the ins and out of this. I know what's going on. I know what's going out and all of that. That makes you more valued, because then I can be like, oh, go to Alex. Alex knows this piece of code. Why don't you go ask him for help? he can help you, because he understands that piece of code, the infrastructure that's in place, and he can help you out. So that's one of the best things to do. If you have downtime, just look at the PRs. Like, all the PRs have a ton of comments in them, a lot of learnings from them. So cool. Anything else needs improvement? I'm trying to think myself. These are all really good, though. Okay, so we can always go back. Okay, if you find something, then you're like, oh, I want to put one that went well, right? Even though we're all the way over here now, that's okay. As long as you bring it up and say, oh, I just remembered for needs improvement, we need to do this. All right. This one is like any questions or discussions that would be nice, like a mini meeting or something, or even a big meeting, right? That would be nice to have. Or it could be like, oh, hey, when I have can you show us how to code review better? Right? Then we can have a session for that. Like, these are things that if you bring this up, then we'll intentionally create meetings for that. Or questions too.
Speaking for me and maybe others on the UX team, is just getting more comfortable with that front end engineering. So just general, hey, how are we accessing stuff from the API? Especially because, or even the JSON files and all the enums that Chris put together and things like that, because I didn't have any hand in that. So anytime I had to start referencing them, it's like it's like learning something from the ground up, especially because I don't do it in my day-to-day right now. Like, I feel so confident talking about the design and all the components that I've built and the styles and what's busted, like in the bug squash. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'd be good to have a working session with that. Kind of walk through the code, from like how the all the context, the auth context provider, how that works, how our APIs work, how we bring in data, how we iterate through it. Also TypeScript, the way we use TypeScript, it's not very advanced, but it's also not beginnerish. So you have to understand like how these things tie in and why they work. Like the other day, right, Ryan, we were working through your code and I was like, oh, just press tab because VS Code already knows your types. So you can see those two types. It's available there. Like, how do you know that it was there? Or how does the code know that it was there? Right? How does that connect? Because then by understanding why or how that worked, you'll understand how the benefits of TypeScript and how it works when you're doing any coding.
What I would love to know more about is unit testing, specifically mocking. I would love to know like the setup, how to do it, what's it doing, and the teardown of it. And yeah, I would love to know that the mock where you're not actually calling it, but you're fake API call it. Or yeah.
I think you
That's
speak
really, really
for
cool.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, we'll do a session of that. It's not an easy one to grasp your head around. Like, it's tough too because what was it, you and you and Ryan, the first time when I said what was the mistake? I was like not mocking, but you guys used. I said a word and you guys took it as a different word.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh no, it
We
wasn't
did.
us. It wasn't us.
Oh,
It was me,
okay.
that's for sure.
It wasn't you guys. Okay. What was it? What was the word? I forgot what it was.
Oh man, it's killing me
Something
because it
with
was
like
some
input.
input rather than import, maybe.
Uh, yeah, I think it was mock the import or something like that, and you mock the input or something like that. I mean, it's in
Yeah.
our chat, but like it's like that where it's a phrase or a mythology that goes through your head, and you think mocking, and then um, the other day, somebody mocked the entire function, and I was like, that's not what I was looking for. No. Mock the functions inside of your function. Like if it's calling the API or something, we don't want it to call it directly. We want to pretend to call it, so we're mocking it, and we're explicitly returning the response. So then when you call it, it doesn't use the API response, because we have the rate limiting issue with the app writer, correct? And so this individual mocked the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's not correct. Like, we still need to use the actual function and go through the flow, but we're mocking the individual actions and functions that are calling the API, so that we don't explicitly call the API. We're pretending to call it and giving a response back."
One of my favorite statements from you, Shashi, in our chat was, to me, your perspective of mocking is not fully correct.
Yeah.
It's a really nice way to put it.
Yeah, mocking is crazy. It's but you guys are doing a good job. Once you understand it a little bit more, you start to grasp it. Okay, anything else?
I think kind of already suggested it when we got to this section. But like maybe like a code review onboarding.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I feel like it's if you've never been on a team,
That's true.
then you've never really code reviewed, and if you'd always just do project by yourself, you're not really code reviewing at all, because you're the one writing it, so you kind of just go straight through. So it's I feel like for anyone that's like never code reviewed, they're like, I don't know what to do unless someone kind of like guides them along.
Yeah, I think that's something that for the next big PR, I could do that and just do a session, and then I walk through it and tell you guys what I'm looking for, and then why I'm looking for, why I'm asking questions, or what these certain comments mean, or like what you should be understanding at the same time. So that's a good one.
And also related to that, I was wondering if we can always record those sessions. Like, we had one for testing, and everything was so clear, but then I didn't take any notes because everything made sense in the moment. Then I was thinking, I wish I had a recording to go back to, and then everyone knew who joins the project, they could just start by watching whatever we recorded already.
Yeah. I have to find a way. I mean, there's screen share. I can screen capture video. Discord doesn't record anything, so you have to kind of do outside of that. Obviously, when we do these live sessions, they're all recorded. They're on YouTube, and I'm not taking them down. And I mean, they're on LinkedIn and Twitter too, but the Twitter ones will get taken down. LinkedIn will always be there, but it's not as organized. And then YouTube, obviously, you can go to my channel, and it's there. It's in the live streams, and they're all there. But the sessions are not recorded, right? Like, we do those privately, and it would be nice to record those, because then you can go back and rewatch it. So that's a good one.
Yeah, I even asked Carlos to record Tuesdays, which ended up not happening because several of us weren't going to be there. So I think it would be nice to have someone who's always one person recorded every time, like you said. That's a good idea.
Awesome. Anything else?
I got to start writing these down because I'm sure it's come up over the last month.
Writing one down.
Questions or discussion topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's it's I didn't prep you guys for this, so I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I would love to discuss whatever API we will be using, but I know that still has to be, I guess, researched or thoroughly discussed. But yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, but this is a good list. Like, we're doing this, and usually these last 30 minutes to an hour, and we're going on, I think, 45 minutes or so with just the retrospective part, which is really good. I've had teams where it was 5 minutes, and I was the only one putting stuff in. I was like, how are you gonna learn from each other? You don't want to? No, we should want to. All right. Let's go to action items. This is like action items we should take right away, or anything like that. It's a kind of a mixture of all these. Like usually I don't have this. I usually like grab this and say, oh, code review onboarding. All right, that's an action item, right? Like you can do that too. So anything that you want to take action on.
Go review a PR, everyone.
Okay.
I mean, there's enough that we all could do one, right?
Oh, there's plenty.
Yeah,
There's
that's
more.
what I'm
There's
saying.
there's more than enough for everybody to maybe even do it twice or 3 times. Oh, I'll do this. Oh,
Another action
oh
item would be for
man.
Wally, Alex, Carlos, and Eddie of writing down pain points while onboarding.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I have an action item for you guys. Start building in public more. What does that mean? Start sharing what you're building, what you're learning. Some of you are doing it already, which is great. But I think I've expressed as many and often is the more you do it, the more you'll gain traction, the more chances you'll have at landing a job, the more exposure you have, and the more consistent you are. The algorithms are not favorable right now. Like when anytime I post something, I don't get many likes and stuff. Like back in the day, it used to be like 10,000. Oh, not 10,000 views, but like 1,000 likes within a week. With the following that I have, like it was pretty easy. Nowadays, it's like I'll be scratching 50, like by the end of the week or 2 weeks. The algorithm is not friendly, so that's why being consistent is going to help on LinkedIn, on Twitter, do your Twitch streams, all that. That's going to help you build a rapport, build an audience, and build some lurkers. They'll continue to look and lurk, and all that. I know I was really excited for Alex last week when Alex and I posted their Get Kraken content, and Get Kraken like reposted them all and everything, and even started to save them as connections and everything. So those are the things that goes a long way, because now they identify you, and when they have a job opening or something, just like Richard, they will know who you are, and it's easier for them to identify who you are and what you're doing. So no, Alex, let us know when you're streaming.
Oh, my computer can't stream. It's so slow.
Oh no!
Come on, I gave you some more RAM. It's fine.
Yes, thank you.
Any other action items? How about this? Any other items on the board went well? Improvements, discussions.
Can I just actually add a recommendation for helping to build in public? So what I've started doing was just literally writing down what I've done each day, and typically what I've started doing was posting it at the end of the day. Is it optimal for views and likes and the algorithm? No, but that consistency is more important than anything right now. And I just have a Notion thing, and I have a details for each day. I write the date, write down snippets of what I've done, and then I can expand on it. And then I wrote like a small novel, on Twitter a couple days ago because of it. So that's just one workflow that's really helped me out.
Okay.
I would love to know, those who are watching, what do you guys like to see when people post in public? We would love to know, or comment down below. We would love to know. So
that's a good one. Yeah, please let us know. We're building this, but we want your feedback as well. All right. I will send you guys this board. We will try to do this every 2 to 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks 2 weeks might be too soon because sometimes we're all busy and doing stuff, and this we're not doing it full time, so I don't want to do it too often. At the 4 week mark, I think that's good because then we have a lot more information collected and we can move forward with this. But these things are not taken lightly. Like these things are to help us improve, and I will push these forward, especially things that need to improve. We will look to improve those things. The discussions, yeah, we'll start to have these sessions so that can help you learn and grow and all that stuff. And also, I'm going to continue to have individuals come on and help us, or not help us, but just provide another voice for us as you're building this. So I wanted to announce that on when is it? July 24th, which is Wednesday, not next Wednesday, the Wednesday after that. I have Tracy Lee coming on to talk to us. She is the CEO
Nice.
of This Labs. So she's going to come on just like how Ryan did and just talk to you guys and answer your questions and all of that. I think that's going to be really uplifting for the team. So definitely, if you don't know who she is, look her up. She's really big on Twitter. She does a lot of community speaking, conference speaking. She's hiring, but not for juniors. I'm sorry. I mean, who knows? Like, she talks to us. I'll ask her that question. How about that? Would you hire these juniors? And see what she says. But yeah, she's a good person to come on because she does hiring herself. She does marketing. She does content creation, everything, and really good person. So, but to close us out, thank you everyone for listening to us talk and like work through this, talking about things that are working, didn't work, all that. Um, definitely want to showcase what we're doing as a team. We're just not building; we're learning from each other. We're growing together, and we're going to continue to try to produce an application that is production ready. So continue to follow us every Thursday. We're going to try to stream every Thursday, talk about different topics. And I know this time I didn't market it out. I was really busy, but as we move forward, hopefully I can hand that task on to somebody else so that we can market it ahead of time and get more eyes on this. So, all right. Until next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.